Hi all, welcome to North Star Knife Reviews. If you are interested in knives at all and you've looked at any list of top budget knives over the past 10 years, you probably have seen one or both of these knives on the list, the Ontario Rat 1 and Rat 2. They were hugely popular, highly praised, and often carried. But with all of the other great budget knives that have come out in the last few years, we've got brands like Rake, QSP, Ganzo, Civivi, Kubi. Are the Rat 1 and Rat 2 still relevant, and should you still consider them for your EDC? Well, let's take a little look. Now, the Ontario Knife Company was founded in 1889, and they had a pretty wide-ranging product line, but they've for quite a while been major producers of military knives, and this led them to collaborate with Jeff Randall of Randall's Adventure Training, okay, RAT. This is an outdoor survival school, and they collaborated with him to produce a line of knives that were designed by Randall Adventure Training, but produced by Ontario Knife Company. The Rat 1 first came out in about 2008 and immediately got some glowing reviews. Now, these knives were designed for function, not for aesthetics. And there are a lot of people who really don't like the look of the offset blades on these knives. But, they really are straightforward knives that work, whether you think they look nice or not. Both the Rat 1 and the Rat 2 come in basic, these original versions, and these are those originals. They have Zytel nylon handles, Os 8 blades, and they run these days probably around $22 to $25. You might be able to get them a little more cheaply depending on where you go. Now, they did come up with a, quote, upgraded version, end quote, a couple of years ago. You can get these with G10 scales, D2 blades for about $40. But quite honestly, for most people, these Os 8 blades are probably going to be just fine. They're not going to hold an edge for quite as long as the D2 versions would, but they're going to be a little easier to sharpen, and they're going to have more corrosion resistance. So it's really up to you whether you think you need that D2 or whether the Os 8 would be sufficient for you. Well, let's concentrate right now on the Rat 1. The Rat 2 is going to be very similar, just a bit smaller size. The scales, as I said, are nylon, Zytel. They do have a little texture, but they are somewhat slippery. There are lots and lots of Torx screws on this knife. And the handle is, the pocket clip is 4-position. You put it tip up, tip down, right hand or left hand carry, which is nice. This is truly an ambidextrous knife. The cutout for the thumb studs is both on the right and the left side. Also has a lanyard hole, if that is something that is of importance to you. As I said, the blade on these basic models is Os 8. I think that Os 8 is a perfectly serviceable steel for most people in most situations. The offset blade, which I said a lot of people really don't like the look of, does have quite a bit of ergonomic value to it. It's got a thumb ramp, it's got some jimping, and along with this finger groove, really locks your hand in place. Now, it doesn't have a finger choil, but it does have a fairly large flat area on the ricasso So you can certainly get up on the blade and choke up if you really need to get a little finer detail work. The Rat 1 has a blade that is a bit over 3.5 inches long with about a 3¼ inch cutting edge. The Rat 2 has a blade that's about 3 inches long, and the cutting edge is going to be about 2¾ inches. Closed length on the Rat 2 is about 4 inches, and for the larger Rat 1, it's about 5 inches. Now, quite honestly, I don't carry the Rat 2 a lot, even though it is really my preferred size for an EDC knife. But the thing is, I've got quite a few other knives in the same size, and I just don't end up carrying the Rat 2. I do carry the Rat 1 because on the weekends, I do like to have a little bigger blade, and so I end up carrying this one a bit more. As I said, they're not necessarily the most attractive knives in the world, but I still think that they get the job done. They are good quality, they're a decent price, relevant, definitely, and should you still consider them? I would say absolutely, particularly these AUS 8 versions, although if you think you need the upgrade to D2, you can certainly go for that. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting. Have a good day. Please subscribe, and I will catch you next time.